All right, I believe we are live on Twitch.
Oh,
Let me just check that our audio is coming through and all that fine shit.
I didn't know that we were live. I didn't know that. Oh, so that's what you meant by false advertising. I thought we were just recording.
No, it's called the
Oh,
Riely Live Movie Review Podcast for a reason.
you didn't tell me the name of it. Like for real, like you said, "Hey Mo, do a top 10 list, motherfucker." And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And but you didn't fill me in on the rest of them.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a Twitch show. I'm sorry to inform you.
Oh shit. All right. Hello everyone. Hello Twitch.
And we do
Twitch-tastic.
record it too though. That's why I haven't done a real intro yet because I got to get the fucking uh, dumbass bears in here.
Yeah, see, I was thinking that the dumbass bears were going to be in here
They
already,
they
so I
will
was
be
just
in here
preparing.
because I do put this on the mega feed after it's done, so I record it with the things.
Now recording.
Oh baby.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Riely Live Movie Review Podcast. I am your host Riely, joined today by a very special guest for a very special episode. Say hello to Moediggity.
I'm special.
You sure are. So today, folks, on the Riely Live Movie Review Podcast, we're not just reviewing one little simple movie. I got my buddy Moediggity to join me in concocting our top 10 movies of all time. We're going to talk about our top 10 lists, why we feel this way about these films, and we're going to have a great fucking time. How does that sound, folks? So, I guess if you want to drop into the top 10, do you want to go first or should I, Mo?
You should go ahead and go first, but I want to go ahead and just say this like what I was telling you earlier, because for those of you who are just now tuning in, I was telling Riley, yeah, man, I had a list already made up. And then we were just sitting there, and I just started looking at the list. I'm like, huh, do you really feel this way about this movie? Is it truly top 10? Because originally my list had a couple of movies on there, had Follow That Bird, the Sesame Street movie, because it was a super, super influential movie when I was a kid, right? Like, I never, because anyone who's ever watched
Yo, that
Sesame
movie's
Street,
sick. The Sesame Street movies are actually sick. I love those
yeah,
movies.
yeah, I had that, and see, I had to
Have you
refine
seen
my list twice.
I'm
I had to
sorry.
refi I had to refine my list twice because I started noticing, oh fuck, half my movies are fucking Muppet movies. Like I had
Oh,
because like the
Mo
first
had a real hard
iteration
on
was,
for Jim Henson when he made his list.
oh dude, because I was trying to like be real about it, you know? But I started thinking, wait a minute, do you really like fucking do you really like Follow That Bird more than you like Spaceballs? Be honest, Mo. I'm like,
Be
well,
honest with
I
me.
really. You're like, all right. Do you really like fucking the Muppets Take Manhattan more than you like Jackie Brown? Be honest, Mo. And I'm like, dude, I had to refine it, and then I started. I fell into the trap of just putting down every movie that I can remember that I fucking loved. And I was like, this is, these are fucking great movies, but they're not, they're not top 10 of all time.
You see what
Like
I would have
maybe,
done in your
maybe
shoes.
regular top 10, but not of all time.
What I would have done in your shoes is when I realized that half my list was Muppet movies, I would have just replaced the rest of my list with Muppet movies, and then came to this call and be like, "Wait a minute, did you say top 10 movies of all time? I thought you said top 10 Muppet movies of all time."
Yo, dude, yeah, like the first four were Muppets Christmas Carol, which I really, really love, but then I started debating to myself, well, wait a minute, do I really want this movie to be on the movies, or if we ever did like top 5 or 10 Christmas movies? This
Yo, I
seems
would
this
totally do that.
yeah, I'm totally down to do uh like I'm down for this to be just part one of like top 10 movies of all time.
I mean,
Like
we'll see
I
where it
have like
goes.
yeah, like this movie this list, a Christmas list, God, yeah, but, like, the first 4 were, like, Muppets Take Manhattan, fucking, Muppet Christmas Carol, which I did watch recently as of, 2 Christmases ago, and it still really, really holds up. Like, I liked it when I was a kid, but I fucking loved it as an adult now. But being honest, it wasn't top 10 of all time caliber, and it is a Christmas movie. So, it's hard to put that in there. Like it's the reason why fucking a Christmas Story didn't make the top 10 list of all time because it's a Christmas movie. And I think that's kind of like a different mentality, because it's hard to put up a Christmas Story up against like fucking Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So my list, I think the only thing that really changed from like my perception of like my top movies to like what I ended up putting down in the Google Doc, was Captain Marvel didn't make the list, which I've always considered that as one of my even like top five. But as I kind of thought about it and I made the list, it ended up not making the cut. So that was the only movie that really I felt like was going to be on the list, and then it didn't end up being on the list. Is Captain Marvel, which I know everybody hates, and I'm a weirdo because I like it, but it gets an honorable mention, but it's not on the list.
Yeah, like I don't know, like with Marvel movies, if I'm not interested in the first 15 minutes of the film, I'm kind of like I'm
The
kind of
first
out.
15
And,
minutes of a
and
Marvel
I
film are never good because that's before you get to any of the action.
No, that's absolutely not true at all. The first 15 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy is fucking amazing.
Fair
You
enough.
know, yeah, but you know what? Before we start deconstructing everything, you can go ahead and go first if you like, and we'll just go from there.
All right, yeah, I think if the stream is over an hour by the time we've done our bottom five, we'll split into a two-parter. But if not, we'll just marathon it. Um, so my number 10, which I said before the stream, is probably gonna make Mo really upset. This is on my list. um, number
Is it
10.
is it fucking Juno?
No, Juno's much higher on the list.
Oh, okay. Well,
my
now I gotta know. So what's the movie?
my number 10 is Drake and Josh Go Hollywood.
Oh Christ Almighty! I'm gonna put you on a fucking cross and then set it ablaze.
Listen, okay, and I'm not kidding either because we all know I've talked about it many times. Drake and Josh is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and they made two movies about it, most of which are pretty good. And I mean all of which are good out of the two. They're both good. But Drake and Josh Go Hollywood was the first, and I think it's a very admirable in that I know that a lot of times when you try to turn like a 22-minute sitcom into a 90-minute movie, it doesn't
Yeah,
work. Uh,
yeah,
but Drake and Josh Go Hollywood fucking works. Like, you still feel the great dynamic between Drake Bell and Josh Peck. There's still a lot of funny moments. There's still a lot of, heart in it. A lot of funny Megan shenanigans. Everything that embodies Drake and Josh is in this movie while they still up the ante and make it feel like a film. So I think Drake and Josh Go Hollywood was very successful in what they set off to do with it. And I I really like it. It's a movie that I remember very fondly. I had a DVD of it as a child, and I was thinking when I was making the list, I didn't have a number 10, and I was like, all right, I want to put a Nickelodeon movie on this list, and I considered the SpongeBob movie, but I thought about it, and I'm like, I love like early SpongeBob, but the SpongeBob movie isn't a standout for me, which I know is
You know,
weird.
I don't think I've ever seen the SpongeBob movie. Now that I think about it, because I couldn't even like reference a single scene from the SpongeBob movie,
I could
unfortunately.
reference several. The movie is pretty good. It
Yeah,
just
yeah. Paul, my admin, Paul Diggity. He can reference fucking scenes for that movie out the ass. So can like almost everyone else I know. But for some reason or another, I've never gotten around to watching that movie or the Drake and Josh movie for that matter.
how much have you seen of Drake and Josh the show?
Not much at all because this is stuff that was like after my time because I stopped like watching Nickelodeon right around the time that like Cat Dog and Rugrats and
Okay,
all that
yeah,
started ending.
yeah. Drake. Well,
Yes, so like the
Rugrats
mid-90s.
didn't end until 2007. Mo,
Oh, well, it ended for me. Like
it
there's a
ended in
lot
your
of shit.
heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like about the mid-90s, I was already moving on to, you know, like wearing all black and listening to heavy metal, and I haven't started listening to punk yet and all that shit. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
stopped. I stopped watching or watching anything Nickelodeon related. Unfortunately, that's not to shit on Nickelodeon. I fucking love that channel. It's really sad though is the contrast comparison to like from then till now. There's a picture of the Nickelodeon Studios building, and it's all like bright and orange and colorful, wacky fucking shit all over the place. Like you knew it was Nickelodeon, and then like in the 2000s, it's all like gunmetal corporate fucking gray, and it's
it's
all
because
like
it's not
super sad.
Nickelodeon Studios anymore.
Well, no, it still says Nickelodeon out there, but it's just not
Oh,
like
okay. They were
the
comparing
Nickelodeon the
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon that we know. I'm talking about the building mainly.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like Nickelodeon Studios, which was a place that they used to film some shows, and they would do tours of it, and it was at Universal. And they,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was I guess the Nickelodeon the company. I just said Nickelodeon Studios just because that was sort of my default calling it.
yeah, no, Nickelodeon Studios, the actual place that was called that, is like the dopest shit, and it's so sad. They fucking like they gutted the place and they replaced it with like a place where I think the Blue Man Group performs there now. Is what that
Uh,
is what that place is used for.
it's really sad because isn't Universal Studios isn't that gone now?
Oh no, Universal's still around.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, I guess maybe I'm thinking about Astro World. Oh man, that's a sad loss to time right there is Astro World. And so is Nickelodeon, like the building and all that, and fucking Blue Man Group. No one's still been able to figure out how a company can buy an entire group of people because like they I think Universal Studios or whoever owns them, they own the Blue Man Group now. The kind of the performers, but not really the performers, but it's sort of like their gimmick, their shtick.
Who are the fucking Blue Man Group? Do they do anything else with their lives? Do they do anything when their skin isn't blue?
Who cares? They're the Blue
They're
Man
the
Group.
Blue
They're
Man.
fucking
Yeah, fair
rich as
enough.
shit. All they gotta do is just fucking be mutes, look at each other kind of weird and pound on stuff, and dress all in blue and black.
I feel like
Like,
hearing one of them talk would be like the most like existential crisis one could have.
more than likely, they're probably all on YouTube. We've just never really searched for it. It's like seeing a face of a VTuber for the first time that you really like. They're like, did I really need to have this reveal? It's kind of like it's sort of weird, It's like, do you want to know how the magic is made? Because after that, after you open that fucking box, you can't close it back anymore.
Yeah, it turns out Moediggity was a member of the Blue Man Group the whole time.
And I'm broke as shit, and I live in an RV. This is fucking bullshit. I got hosed by life.
You were the fourth Blue Man. They kicked you out.
Yes, I was the fat one. I was going to be called Blueberry,
Oh my god. But yeah,
but they didn't.
Drake and Josh Go Hollywood. Very funny film. Drake Bell and Josh Peck have some of the best chemistry in comedy history. Um, Easy number 10 to Drake and Josh Go Hollywood. What about you, Mo? What's your number 10? Good one. Good
Oh
movie.
shit. Sorry. No, I was taking a fucking drink, finishing off a Coke, and then you're like, "Oh shit, yeah." So like, well, before we go, like, what was the Drake and Josh movie? Like, what did they do? What was the premise, the
Oh, do
point
you
of the
want me to
movie?
tell you the plot? Okay,
Yeah.
so in the Drake and Josh movie, Drake and Josh. So the basic plot is that Drake and Josh's little sister Megan is supposed to fly to Denver to go like hang out with one of her friends, but she accidentally gets on a flight to Hollywood, California, and the parents are out of town, so Drake and Josh have to go to Hollywood to find and retrieve their little sister. And along the way, Josh accidentally switches like backpacks or laptops or something with like a criminal who's trying to run a counterfeit ring. So then the criminals start hunting Drake and Josh down, and that's the plot of the movie.
Dun dun dun.
And there's like it's surprisingly dark for fucking Drake and Josh. Like there is these like insane thugs that are literally gonna kill them. They like kidnap them and throw them in like a fucking room, and
There's also the other time that Josh caught Drake freebasing crack, and then they had that whole fucking, that whole little arc where he's like, "I can't do it, man. I'm going to fucking or you're going to rehab. You're
no,
going to
that was
be
this that,
clean, Drake."
that was the second movie. That was Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh.
Okay, yeah. That's the one where Josh's hidden alcoholism fucking comes out, and everyone finds out he's an alcoholic because he's like, "Fuck you! I don't need your shit, Drake. You're a fucking bitch. It's Drake and Josh." They start fucking arguing about like the names of the marquee, which ones go first. It's like, dude, it's Drake and Josh. Dude, it should be Josh and Drake. Fuck you! I'll fucking kill you.
I'm pretty sure they do that joke in the show. I don't think it quite escalates to "I'll fucking kill you," but I think that did happen. Um, but yeah, that's what happens in Drake and Josh Go Hollywood. I almost put Merry Christmas Drake and Josh on this list, but I ended up giving it to Go Hollywood. Merry Christmas Drake and Josh was also very good. They literally commit federal crimes in that movie, and somehow they're just let off.
Well, yeah, because they just love the people that love Drake and Josh. They're white.
The thing about
Yeah,
yeah,
they go.
I don't even remember what Josh did, but like Josh was like there's like a misunderstanding that resulted in Josh getting sent to jail, and then Drake fucking breaks him out of jail.
So the goddamn that white privilege really does work for some people, huh?
Literally, no. The plot
Like,
of the plot of Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. I guess honorable mention here is that Josh goes to jail because of a misunderstanding, and then Drake breaks him out. And Drake, earlier in the film, he was a mall Santa, and he promised a little girl that he would give her the best Christmas ever. And the plot of the film is they go into the courtroom, and their lawyer, who is not really a lawyer, it's just the manager of the movie theater from the show, Helen. She makes a case to the judge that they have to be let out because they have to fulfill their Christmas promise to this little girl. So the judge agrees to let them out, but they have to give this girl and her family the best Christmas ever, or they're going back to jail. That's the plot.
there's so many people. There's so many fucking single fathers that are like, man, come on, dude. I got to make sure that my Christmas for my kids are great. They're like, yeah, no, jail, fucking 5 years, guilty.
You can't break a Christmas promise though. They had to let him go so they could fulfill
Yeah,
their
well,
Christmas
I wish
promise.
I fucking knew that when I was getting yelled at by the judge for drinking and having an open container. It was in the middle of the summer. Does Christmas miracles and stuff still work in fucking July?
I mean, Christmas in July is a thing, so maybe.
No, that's stupid and a dumb fucking gimmick.
Hey, Christmas in July is a very magical time.
It's ridiculous. Christmas in July is just anyway. I don't have the strength to argue Christmas in July because I am not prepared for that.
Yeah, I don't have the functioning brain to argue about Christmas in July. Every word I say, it hurts more. So let's just.
Let's get to my top 10 and give your brain a break.
All right, Mo, telling me about your 10th favorite movie of all time.
My 10th favorite movie of all time, and this I had to debate this a little bit because I was like, well, what's the fucking strong opener? You have to have a strong opener, and as long as blah, 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 blah. You have to have a strong opener along with your fucking strong closer, right? So, with that being said, my number 10 is The Departed. The Departed is a great film. It's directed by Martin Scorsese. It has Leonardo DiCaprio. It has fucking Jack Nicholson. It has Martin Sheen is in
Wow.
there. There's actually a lot of really great stars in there. Like for example, Brad Pitt was the producer for the film, right? And I didn't know that until like I started reading like some fun little facts about it on the internet here, this here intertubes, and it's also the only film that got Martin Scorsese his only Oscar because he's never gotten an Oscar before for the movie. Now, the premise is this. Uh, one of the see, fuck. You know what? I should probably read the premise before I get to the premise, but uh, it was supposed, you know, there was supposed to be like a basketball diaries fucking brotherhood thing because Mark Wahlberg and DiCaprio were in this movie as well as the basketball diaries. Now, I'm not sure. Have you ever seen a Martin Scorsese flick?
I don't think so.
Really? Oh, okay, okay, because it's a fucking great movie. Or Martin Scorsese does a lot of really great
I've
movies,
definitely heard the name.
and yeah, he's one of the more famous one of the more famous directors to come to Hollywood to actually do.
I'm sure he came
Uh,
in Hollywood too.
oh, there's lots of people who came in Hollywood, but yeah.
Did Scorsese
So
get canceled?
no, you can't
Okay,
cancel Martin
good.
Scorsese. You can't cancel Spielberg or Scorsese or any of these fucking people.
I
You're
think you
never
should
really
be able to
truly.
cancel Spielberg. Have you heard some of the awful shit about that guy?
No, not at all. I've only ever heard good things about Spielberg.
Man, maybe it's all baseless, but I've read a lot of. I'm not gonna like have a real opinion because I can't verify any of it, but I've read a lot of gross shit about Spielberg.
No shit. Huh. I'll have to go check that out because I've never actually heard anything bad about him. Like one of my favorite movies or shit. I was going to go on a fucking tangent, but I kind of forgot what I was going to go with that with fucking Spielberg. But yeah, I've only ever heard like good things about that guy. But
Yeah,
anyway,
maybe I'm off base, but I've heard like some rumors about some creepy shit.
ah well, all right. So the base synopsis of this movie is it's 2.5 hours long. It's a story about a South Boston cop named Billy Costigan. He's the one that's played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and he goes undercover to infiltrate the freaking organization of Frank Costello, which is based off of a real life Boston gangster called Whitey Bulger. Uh, Whitey Bulger is a sick motherfucker, and there's all sorts of stories about that. If you want to Google like a modern day uh a modern day freaking gangster, go check out Whitey Bulger. He finally got busted, and it turned out that he really was an FBI informant, right? Uh his former bodyguard, the one that the one that's always with him, that's with Frank Costello in this movie, his former bodyguard. That role is based off of this guy, uh, yeah, based off of his right hand man who wrote a book called Brutal, a story about Whitey Bulger, and it's a fucking really good read. It goes it goes in depth on like all the stuff that they used to do, how he was scoping out this guy who was at this diner, right? Like there's a few stories, or there's a few there are a few stories in that book that apparently were referenced in the GTA series. One of them was in GTA 3, near the beginning of the game, there's this one mission where you have to drive to this diner and you have to put a bomb underneath the car, right? And the reason why people remember this mission, not because it was memorable or action packed or something. No, this was, hey, go to point A to point B with no resistance whatsoever, put this bomb under there, and now wait for about 2.5 minutes for this fucking character that slowly walks to his car. You can't fucking skip it. You're just watching this motherfucker just walk to his fucking car. Walk, walk, walk. 2 minutes fucking pass. He finally gets in the car. It says press the trigger button to detonate the bomb. Boom. And that's the fucking mission, right? Well, there's a twist to that. The original story was the bodyguard was at the diner scoping this fucking dude out, right? And the guy got into the car, the guy who was scoping out. He gets into the car, and then all of a sudden you see Whitey Bulger with one of those baklavas or whatever the hell, the fucking criminal face mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
He pops up in the back of the thing, looks at his dude and goes, shh, and starts laughing. And then he fucking strangles the fucking guy and kills his ass. So that was kind of loosely put into the GTA series. But anyway, blah blah
Mo,
blah.
real quick, my apologies.
Yeah, go
Please
ahead.
keep the stream entertained because I have to go to the bathroom like really bad.
All right, no problem, no problem, no problem. So anyway, so Billy Costigan is going up against Frank Costello, Jack Nicholson's character. And so he's fast forward. Uh, Frank Costello grooms children, not in the Mr. Girl way, but in the hey, we're going to get these kids while they're young, give them a fucking future and a place in the organization, and now we're going to make them fucking cops, right? And so uh, Frank Costello has a whole little, like, tiny little army of little cop piggies, little boys, little cop boys, fucking uh, in the fucking Boston police department, right? So that's why he never gets busted for anything. So you have a street cop who got sent into jail because they needed to make his story believable. So when he infiltrates the organization, that he has some street cred, right? And on top of that, the most of the movie is just uh, Leo and Matt Damon, who's Colin Sullivan. They're just, it's basically kind of a movie where they're fighting one another, but they don't know who the other one is until like the final act of the movie, or maybe the end of the third act of the movie. I don't really know, but blah blah blah, who cares? But we're pretty much we were looking at a lot of uh twists and turns and all this stuff, and it's actually, if you're into the twists and turns and big reveals and stuff like that, it's that will be definitely a movie for you, and you'll probably really like it. uh One of the little factoids of that is Robert De Niro was supposed to be initially cast as Frank Costello's character. Jack Nicholson wasn't the first choice, and Jack Nicholson actually uh, didn't want the role at the very beginning. He didn't want it at all. He was just going to pass on it because yeah, he just didn't want it. And let's see what else. Uh, this is a real cool fact that I didn't know existed till just like a few minutes ago. It only took DiCaprio and Scorsese because they worked so well together and so much together. It only took them one day to decide to do it because apparently William Monahan's script was so well written. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. Pardon me, y'all. One sec. One sec. All right. Sorry about that. There was some shit in my nose. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of The Departed in a nutshell. It's my first movie. I swear to God, I'll get better at explaining some of these fucking things. But yeah, it's definitely ranks up there on my top 10 list of all time movies because I'm really into crime dramas and I love movies about gangsters and organized crime because it's fucking fantastic. I like hearing stories about gangsters and criminals and stuff like that because I'm super into that. It's like the cops and detectives and stuff are usually like the other part of it too, like, but there's a reason why uh The Departed made the list and Wolf of Wall Street didn't make the list. It's because mainly I really like the mobster scene and I love checking stuff out from them. So anyway, man, Riley, where are you? Let's see. This is also the first movie where Jack Nicholson and Martin Scorsese ever did together. That was the first one they've done. Like I said, Brad Pitt was the producer for it and all that. Let's see. Jack Nicholson went off script a lot because it kind of called for it. You never know what to expect from him because he just go off the call and say and do anything. So it was a lot of improvisation, improv. But I think once you watch it, it actually does make a whole lot of sense, and it really is kind of cool. Apparently, Boston Celtics were completely banned from the set because Jack Nicholson is a diehard Lakers fan, which is weird. He also refused to don a Red Sox cap because they were in fucking Boston, so you rep the fucking Boston team. But apparently, he never wanted to fucking do that, so that's kind of funny. Let's see. Him and the guy who played French didn't get along very well, and apparently we just didn't click. You know, blob 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 blob. Da.
Okay.
Oh, thank God, because I am running out of shit to fucking talk about.
Well, I came to save you just in time.
Yeah. Well, because like I've been talking about The Departed for about 5-ish minutes now. I'm like I'm running out of facts here, and like I can only say I like this movie so much.
So you said all you need to say about The Departed while I was gone. Then are we moving on?
Pretty much. If you'd like to do your number 9, or since you said you've never seen The Departed, we can move on to your ninth pick.
Okay. Well then my ninth pick. You see, I think this is a movie that a lot of people hate. I've heard a lot of negative things about this movie, but I think the same negatives for most people are positives for me. I love this movie because it's bad. It's getting my
Mm-hmm.
number 9 spot. Number 9 on my list is Jason X.
Jason X, really?
Yes.
Like that? I mean, like It was an okay movie. It just didn't like I liked the previous ones, but like Jason X was in that extreme teens and extreme marketing fucking time where everyone who was like 30 was playing a 17-year-old. And like, like Jason X did it, fucking Saw 2 did it. It was a really, really weird time in Hollywood for like movie making and stuff because there was a bunch of there's so many actors and actresses from that time period. They're like, hell yeah, man, gonna fucking make it big. And then after they got done with the extreme marketing stuff, which I kind of think that Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, they might have helped kill that because they made fun of it a lot in that movie. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Jason X, huh?
So Jason X is a film where it's the, I believe, final film in the Friday the 13th franchise before it was rebooted, unless you count Freddy versus Jason, um, where they take Jason and they put him in the future and then they put him in space. And it's
The
like
future in space.
it's
The
like the
perfect combination.
yes, of course, and it's like the most schlocky, terrible garbage, but I love it. It's so great. Just the way that this movie is crafted, it's I think it's very self-aware of how fucking stupid its premise is, and it's
Yeah, yeah, I definitely gleaned that when I saw that because I've only ever made the movie. I've only ever watched the movie once, right? But like I kind of got that from the get go from the trailer because like it's so like cheesily done. Like because Bodies by Drowning Pool was popular at the time,
oh my
and
god.
they used the shit out of that song in the fucking trailer, and it's just goofy as fuck.
Yeah, no, this movie is very self-aware, and that's why it's very enjoyable. Like the way the characters are crafted and the way the plot is crafted is so like stupid that it's the most fun movie in this franchise. And I knew I was putting something from the Friday the 13th franchise on this list. And
That's a good one. That's a good one.
yeah,
Jenny Bailey 312 says Jonah a Veggie Tales movie did better be in the top 10.
I think it's both of our number ones actually.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I fucking love Veggie Tales, man.
A great franchise. But yeah, so yeah, Jason X. For those who don't know, Jason is in the future, and then he's in the future, which is it starts in 2010, which was the future in 2000 when the movie came out. Um, and then
So many goofy fucking things came from like once we hit the year 2000 or like uh to the 2010s because no one could fathom even 2008 because like if you go back in like in the 60s and 70s all the dystopian fucking movies are always set in like the year 2000 or the year 2015. I'm like, dude, I lived through those years. Nothing fucking happened. It was shitty.
are there any of those movies take place in 2020? Because they might have been prophetic if that was the case.
Oh, probably. There's like a million fucking movies that start in 2001 that were ill-timed disaster movies given what happened that year. And then there's like 2020 is used a whole lot. I don't know if there's a significance to that date specifically, but yeah, yeah, yeah. They used 2020, 1999, which was really weird that everyone kept referencing 1999 in like 1995 because apparently like people could not handle the fact that it was the millennium, you know? Like at the end of the century, but at the
Yeah,
end of like, the first 2000 years or no it's the first 1000 years I guess I don't know and then Y2K.
yeah. Y2K was wacky.
Dude, I missed the shit out of Y2K because like like me and my friends were like, dude, we were partying like, hey, the world's gonna fucking end. And quite frankly, I'm fine with it. The whole fucking place can go. All the fucking planes can fall out of the skies. The stock market can fucking crash. I don't fucking care. Fuck the global economy. Let's fucking rock and roll. And it was like, no, no, no. Just people had to work their asses off to change, a nine into a zero, because essentially what happened was, when people made computators, they didn't. Pretty much everyone thought, because this was back in when they were making like supercomputers, like in uh Captain America fucking Winter Soldier, when one of the Hydra agents is this giant fucking is this giant computer that took up a whole fucking room. People, that was the nuclear fucking height of the Cold War, or like the beginning of the Cold War days. So I'm guessing everyone didn't have a bunch of fail safes just in case they made it to the end of the century, but everyone just pretty much assumed that we would all be eradicated by now.
Yeah,
There was
that's
a
fair
point I
enough.
was making with that, but oh yeah, because everyone references 1999 and Y2K, blah blah blah.
It's like there's an episode of My Name Is Earl, where it's Y2K day. It's New Year's 2000, and they all the main characters, I forget how it was set up, but all the main characters are somehow under the impression that they are the last survivors of the human race, and that Y2K has wiped everybody else out. So they like go camp out in a grocery store, and they form a new little society at a grocery store. It's a really good episode. And then they all like at the end of their first night, they're like, we can do this. We can propagate the human race. We're gonna
Mhm.
do this. And then they go to bed, and then they wake up, and there are people in the grocery store, and they realize that like the grocery store was just closed because like there was like some parade going on, and that everybody is still alive.
Oh dear God. Yeah, my name is Earl.
Great
That's a
show.
show that I need to watch.
It's literally
How
my
many seasons
favorite
is it?
show. It's 4 seasons.
4 seasons? Okay, yeah, well, I'll have to check it out.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Jason X is just the ultimate like campy horror movie, and I love every second of it. Uh, I think one of the best and most self aware of like the genre scenes is there's a scene where they distract Jason with a simulation, and the simulation is he's on a campground, and there are two like scantily clad dressed teenagers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Want to
And
have
they're
some premarital
yes,
sex?
we love premarital sex, and then it just cuts to Jason fucking slamming them into a pole in a sleeping bag.
Yeah, they were all very very well aware that they were in a horror movie, because that's goofing on, I think it was the first or second Jason movie, that Jason Voorhees did that to a chick. He grabbed her, like she was in her sleeping bag, right? Put her in there, zipped that bitch up, grabbed her by her feet, and fucking slammed it in the fucking tree.
Yeah, it's a classic Friday the 13th kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday the 13th, Jason, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th, oh God, there's a lot of like 80s horror films that, of course, because of Alfred Hitchcock, you know, there's a lot of them that really kicked off like this whole fucking genre that is unfortunately a shadow of its former self. Like I don't like any modern horror movies like at all. I haven't seen a good horror flick that didn't come from the old school group. Like there's a little short film series called The Master of Horror, and it
Mm-hmm.
has Robert Englund and all those fucking people. The who's the guy that directed Scream again? Wes Anderson. Yeah, all of them were in there. All of them were in there, and
Was it
they
Wes
managed
Anderson
to.
or was it Wes Craven?
Oh fuck. Durr. Wes Anderson's a completely different Wes. Yes, Wes Craven, Mo. Wes Craven is the director you're thinking about. Yeah, Wes Craven fucking did that New Nightmare and like a bunch of other horror films. But those movies really kicked off the horror genre and was great for a while. It's because of that. We get like Tromaville and the Toxic Crusader and all that, and it's pretty much the reason why we got Scream. And honestly, I think the Scream, like the first three Scream movies, I kind of think they're the last like best horror film or a horror series that we've had, and it's been such a schlocky shit show ever since then because the new Halloween movie didn't need to happen. Like no one asked for the new Halloween movie, and some of the reboots that we've had, you know, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think that the Michael Myers Rob Zombie version was good, but it just dragged out for so fucking long, and it wasn't as cerebral or as psychological as Rob Zombie himself would like to think that movie was. It had like a good like 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes, like right when you see uh Michael get committed into the insane asylum for killing his fucking sister and I think his sister, dad, and boyfriend, I believe it was. Yeah, it was good. The end was really really good. It's just that the rest of the movie just wasn't that good, and it's kind of a slog to fucking get through to the really really good parts because you start off really really well and then you end really really well, but then everything else is sort of like I'm fucking so goddamn bored.
Yeah, yeah, certainly, fair enough. But yeah, Jason X is a very self-aware and fun horror movie that I enjoy watching every time I get the chance to watch it. And I also want to say, my apologies to Mo and the people at home, but I underestimated how sick I am. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our number eights, and then we're gonna do a part two. How does that sound?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Sure. Well, yeah, well, I haven't even done my number 9 yet.
Yeah, yeah. You do your number nine, and then we'll both do our number eights, and we'll call it good for
Okay,
part
all right,
one.
good deal, good deal, good deal. All right, are you done with Jason X?
Yep, I've said all I need to say. Just a really fun, self-aware slasher film. A nice, self-aware sort of spoof on the genre. Very good.
Nice, nice. All right, my number 9. Uh, I want to preface all this by saying Kevin Smith is one of my most favorite directors of all time. And it sucks that this movie didn't rank a little bit higher, but when it's going up against, you know, a lot of the other ones that we'll get to in another time, it just it earns a solid number 9. It's a little bit better than well, maybe it's not better than The Departed, but it's still pretty fucking good, I think. And that movie for my number 9 is Mallrats. Mallrats, to give you the little synopsis here. T.S. Jeremy London, who you've never really seen in anything else other than Mallrats and maybe a couple other Kevin Smith films, and his best friend Brody, Jason Lee, who is a fucking fantastic actor and all
The
that.
star of My Name Is Earl, Jason Lee.
Yeah, I actually met some of his family. In there's a little diner, a little restaurant in Houston, Texas, and some of his family members run it, and they have pictures of his stuff and all there, and it's a pretty bumpin' fucking place. I don't remember the name of it, and it's been so long since I've even like this was like years and years ago, almost a decade. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So Brody, Jason Lee, they take a trip to the mall after their girlfriends break up with them. Uh, Michael Rooker, whose name is Jared. Uh, he is the host of a popular dating show that he's trying to get picked up by a major network. So they they do this show. They do a live recording in a mall, and it's the mall that Brody loves to go and just fuck around on, just be a mall rat. They're not there to shop, they're not there to work, they're just there, which I believe was the tagline for the poster, which is one of my I think one of my favorite fucking things because
That's pretty
I
good.
can identify with this movie because I too was a mall rat. I wasn't there to shop, I wasn't there to work, I was just there. And I started learning from Brody. Like you can have like a certain size cup. If it looks nondescript enough, you can go to the food court and just said, "Hey, can I have this filled up, please? Thank you." And you could just fucking sip on your favorite kind of beverage all damn day. Like fill us with Coke, no ice was pretty much my fucking line for like, when I was like 2021. But anyway, so blah 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 blah. They get into they get into wacky shenanigans. Ben Affleck is a anal sex loving fucking sleazy store manager whose name is Shannon, which is a hard as a dude, despite our current year sensibilities, being a guy and having your name as Shannon is still fucking tough. That probably, uh, that probably tells us why he's such a fucking dick, and he has a thing for getting with chicks on the rebound. And he's all like, "Hey, can we do it in the butt?" Like he has a thing for butt sex, but with chicks. But it's just it's really really weird. It's like an odd personality fucking quirk, this this movie did not do well in theaters at all. In fact, back when Kevin Smith and his team View Askew made this movie, him and Scott Mosier and James Jacks, uh, they had an answering machine message that says, "Hey, sorry, can't come to the phone right now. We're busy licking our wounds." Because the fucking studio, I think it was the Weinstein brothers at the time. He's done a lot of uh oh no, it was Gramercy Pictures. It says here. They fucking called him up yelling at him because it flopped fucking hard. And it really fucking sucks because, well, Clerks didn't do really well either. In fact, up until Dogma, uh, Kevin Smith's movies like normally, normally flop. I think Chasing Amy did fairly well, but that's a story for another day. But it had a budget of 6.1 million and only made 2.1 million total in the box office.
Oh no.
And it took a little while until about 1998, 1999, when Dogma came to the theaters, and that movie propelled Kevin Smith's career and put him into the fucking spotlight. And then everyone went back in there because he was known for doing Clerks, but Clerks was a movie that only like the weirdos and freaks and geeks and oddballs fucking knew about. It was kind of like hashtag our movie, before the normies got a hold of it, and you get movies like Red State. But anyway, that's a rant for another day. Um, yeah, yeah. This movie, what it means to me is it it really showed me that I wasn't alone and my loserdom and my just like me being me as a dude, as a former teenager at that time when I saw this movie.
Hmm.
It really showed me that I don't have to think that I'm a piece of shit all the fucking time, and that I'm doing you will do really well and things will work out. in the end, because a lot of Kevin Smith's movies tend to have like a positive, happy ending, and this movie is no exception. You can debate whether or not Clerks had a quote unquote happy ending. Maybe it's more of a, hey, I'm working class and this is probably the best happiest I'm going to get sort of ending, which I think is more accurate, because this one's different because everything kind of worked out for most of the characters in the end. Like the bad guys got screwed, uh the good guys won and they got their girlfriends back, and so that was really cool. uh the conclusion was, apparently to the Wikipedia, the conclusion reveals that TS marries Brandy at Universal Studios while on a Jaws attraction, which is sort of a reference to the beginning of the movie where him and Brody TS, they're best friends and they're talking to each other, and he goes, "When were you going to propose to Brandy?" When Jaws popped out of the water at Universal Studios, and it was kind of funny because the Jaws attraction is one of the most referenced fucking attractions at Universal Studios, when people want to bag on Universal Studios, because apparently the animatronic fucking shark kind of comes up. You could hear the roar. I'm a shark. Fuck you. Roar.
Yeah, that's what it says. It has a voice box and it says, "Fuck you, I'm a shark."
Yeah. And it has what's his name? Uh since you like Jason Lee so much, the other one, what's his fucking name? Brody Bruce. I believe that's he. Oh, that's no, that's not him. Who was his uh uh who is his best friend? Ethan Suplee.
That's his brother, and
Suplee.
my name is Earl.
Oh, okay. I thought that was his yeah, I thought that blah blah blah. Um yeah, he's in there. Wow, Wikipedia does not fucking credit him in being in this movie. Holy shit.
Are
I
you
guess
sure
that's
that
what I
you're
was.
not wrong about who it was?
No, I'm 100% fucking certain that it was Ethan Suplee.
Fair
You
enough.
know what? Fuck it. No. In fact, maybe I should look that up. I'm just going to IMDb this, because now I'm fucking wondering, am I wrong here? I can't fucking be wrong. I've watched this movie a million times. It should be him. I mean, I
Just
fucking hope
Google
so.
Ethan Suplee Mallrats.
Oh god, this movie had a fucking show? Like,
There's a
no one ever
Mallrats
fucking.
TV show.
Yeah, there's apparently a Mallrats TV show, and I have never even heard that it even existed, or, it is, oh, yeah, is, William. Yeah, Ethan Suplee. God, he has a weird sounding last name. It feels so weird saying it, like off off of the top of your tongue, right? But yeah, he's in there. There's actually cameos by like a bunch of Universe characters, like Steve Dave and his little butt boy minion. Like, you never see them in anything else unless you like uh that the comic books, the Clerks comic and all that stuff, because they expand upon their characters in these movies that you never really see too much of, unless like you're into the extended universe for those people. And Ethan, or William, and uh fucking Steve Dave are in there. But blah blah blah. Stan Lee also has a cameo back when he was a little
He
bit
just loves
younger, and
cameos, huh? It's a
yeah, he
cameo in
loves cameos.
Mallrats.
Oh, cameo in Mallrats, cameo in the Teen Titans Go movie. One
That
of the
was pretty great.
Yeah, yeah, and Teen Titans Go is so fucking good. But anyway, uh, I really, really like this movie a lot. It made me feel, something in my heart when I was just miserable, too young and depressed and didn't know shit about anything. And it made me feel like I wasn't alone. And just keep at it. And you too, by the time you're probably about 23, 24, will not be such a fucking loser. How wrong they kind of were. Anyway,
Uh-oh.
so yeah, I'm done, and I said everything I need to say about Mallrats.
So, yeah, apologies again. I'm gonna have to walk back what I said 5 minutes ago because I am about to just curl up into a ball and fucking die. So, I think this is a little taste. We got a solid hour stream out of our first two entries, which I was not expecting. So, I guess join us next time we can get together, and we'll do hopefully a little bit of a longer stream and do 8 through 1.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that, and I hope you get to feeling better. And thanks for everyone coming out. I appreciate it and all that. Go check me out, Moediggity, twitch.tv/Moediggity.
Hell yeah, and I apologize again for cutting us short here, but my body refuses, so it's time to pack it up for the day. I thank you all for listening. Join us next time. Hopefully, we'll do part two of this before the next movie review, which is scheduled for Thursday. So yeah, look forward to part two of this. Reviewing Jennifer's Body with Alexis on Thursday. So yeah, we got some streams coming down the pipe. Thank you all for watching for the Riely Live Movie Review Podcast. I have been Riely.
And I've been Mo.
And yeah, goodbye in a second when I can get to the bots to get rid of them. Da-da-da-da. Mo, quick, give us some life advice before I can get rid of these bots.
Oh, invest in dividend stocks.
Oh, there you
Like
go.
not the expensive ones. Dividends, the TLDR of those is you buy stocks, the company gives you money for owning stocks as an attaboy, a thank you, if you will. And if you buy a bunch of stocks, you'll get more back every like month or every quarter, depending on the payout. And you can even refuse the payout and just tell it to reinvest in itself. And over time, that shit will snowball into like, hundreds of thousands, during every like quarter or every month, so it's a little bit of passive income in your pocket.
Yeah, that's a good advice. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Goodbye.
Bye. Twitch, Twitch, Twitch,
All
Twitch,
right, and
Twitch,
thank you all
Twitch,
for
Twitch,
the for
Twitch,
watching the stream. And get in that stream now. We'll see you soon.
Twitch, Twitch.